It's always an easy plot device for a horror or science fiction writer to set their story on a burial ground or near a toxic waste dump, leading to the chaos that ensues in the story. However, in the story of one newly incorporated city in the Southland, toxic waste and buried children made the unincorporated area nationally famous. Join us as we take a look at Jurupa Valley. Jurupa Valley is a city in the northwest corner of Riverside County. Formerly known as Rancho Jurupa, it was an outpost of the Mission San Gabriel Archangel, one of the earliest non-native settlements in the county. The name comes from the Native American village in the area at the time. The city was incorporated on March 8, 2011, when voters approved it via a ballot measure. There had been a previous attempt to incorporate as a city in 1992, but the ballot measures had failed at that time. Prior to its incorporation, there was no area named Jurupa Valley, but the term is known to have been used back to the 1800s. It generally referred to the unincorporated land northeast of the city of Riverside and the Santa Ana River. It included the neighborhoods of Rubidoux, Pedley, Mira Loma, West Riverside, Indian Hills, Glen Avon, and Sunnyslope, among others. Jurupa Valley covers an area of 43.5 square miles with a population of 105,000 residents. It borders the Riverside County cities of Eastvale, Norco, and Riverside, and the San Bernardino County cities of Fontana, Ontario, Rialto, and Colton. The average household income in Jurupa Valley is $77,000. The median value of owner-occupied homes in Jurupa Valley is reported to be $393,000. 71.4% of the population is Hispanic, 19.7% white, and the remaining less than 10% other races. The 15 freeway runs north and south along the western border of the city, and the 60 freeway runs east and west the entire length of the city on the northern end. Mission Boulevard, which becomes Van Buren Boulevard, is a main street running through the city from the northwest corner to the center east side. Though not directly connected to the first Mission Boulevard, Country Club Village Road turns into a second Mission Boulevard, which runs across the north end of the city into downtown Riverside. Jurupa Valley has a Metrolink station near the center of the city off of Van Buren Boulevard. The Riverside line can be accessed from this station, which can take passengers west all the way to Union Station, where the yellow, green, red, orange, and blue lines can be accessed, as well as the Amtrak lines. In the other direction, it runs into Riverside, where lines into North and South Orange County can be accessed. It's 11 miles to Ontario International Airport from the center of Jurupa Valley. It's 43 miles to John Wayne Airport in Santa Ana, and 64 miles to Los Angeles International Airport. It's 49 miles to Snow Valley Ski Resort or Mountain High Ski Resort, and 40 miles to Mount Baldy Ski Resort. Jurupa Valley is 47 miles from Newport Beach and 65 miles from Santa Monica Beach. It is 29 miles to Yamava Resort and Casino in Highland. Corona Norco Unified School District and Jurupa Unified School Districts oversees the schools in Jurupa Valley. Corona Norco Unified School District covers a small portion of the city near Eastvale and Norco, with the remainder being handled by Jurupa Unified School District. The district has 16 elementary schools, 4 middle schools, and 3 high schools. Jurupa Valley has 3 golf courses: Oak Quarry Golf Club, Indian Hills Golf Club, and Goose Creek Golf Club. All 3 are great courses with amazing and unique features. Hidden Valley Wildlife Area on the south end of Jurupa Valley offers a natural area that features walking and riding trails, as well as picnic, birdwatching, and seasonal areas. There is also Santa Ana River Regional Park, which offers access to the Santa Ana River for wading and swimming. The city also offers several other smaller parks and outdoor activities, including the Cove Water Park. Jurupa Valley is policed by a division of the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. The crime rate in Jurupa Valley is 1,895 per 100,000 residents compared to the USA's 4,506. The murder rate is 2.1 compared to the national 6 per 100,000. The robbery rate is 41 compared to the national average of 148 per 100,000 and rapes are 4 to the national of 30. There is a reported 176 registered sex offenders living in Jurupa Valley. Reports indicate that Jurupa Valley has about 150 homeless people in the city. Jurupa Valley became the center of a controversy in the 1980s called the Stringfellow Acid Pits. This was a toxic dump site in the Pyrite Canyon. A rock quarry owned by James Stringfellow was used to dump 34 million gallons of liquid industrial waste into evaporation ponds. Between 1969 and 1980, weather and mismanagement resulted in spills and intentional releases of toxic chemicals into Pyrite Creek, which flowed into storm channels running through Glen Avon. The site was shut down in 1972 when it became apparent that the chemicals were leaking into the groundwater. Stringfellow had opened the disposal site at the request of the Santa Ana Regional Water Quality Board after geologists indicated the site would be perfect for the purpose. In the 80s, the site came to the attention of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency after the passage of the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act. The site was labeled the most contaminated in California. Currently, the site is managed by the California Department of Toxic Substances Control, and the cleanup operations is expected to take 500 years. For true crime buffs, Jurupa Valley was the site of the Wineville chicken coop murders. Gordon Stewart Northcott, who was born in Canada, moved to and purchased the Wineville Ranch with the help of his father in 1924. Northcott used the pretext of having him help with the ranch to bring his 11-year-old nephew to the U.S. from Canada. However, Northcott began physically and sexually abusing him. Eventually, the nephew would tell his sister during a visit from Canada that Northcott had murdered 3 boys and a young man on the ranch. 3 of the boys had been buried on the ranch and the young man's headless body had been dumped in La Puente. The case got its name because the boys were kept in the chicken coop prior to being murdered. Though Northcott fled to Canada with his mother, who was an accomplice in the murders. Authorities would catch up to them and return Northcott to Riverside for trial. Northcott was convicted of kidnapping, molesting, torturing, and murdering the 3 boys and young man. Sentenced to death, Northcott was hanged at San Quentin on October 2, 1930 at the age of 23 years old. As a result of the case, the area was renamed Mira Loma. The 2008 film Changeling starring John Malkovich and Angelina Jolie is partially based on the chicken coop murders. Additionally, a plotline in American Horror Story, Hotel centers around a boy who, it is implies, was a surviving victim of the chicken coop murders. Jurupa Valley is a newly incorporated city with an interesting history. If you are traveling through the Southland and find yourself in Riverside County, be sure to stop and check out Jurupa Valley.